Now, you've been told that light phones are weaker, slower and barely last a day, right? But what if the lightest phone I've tested this year have lasted me 73 hours or 3 days straight on a single charge? This is the Vivo V50 Lite, and it might just change everything you know or you think you know about light smartphones, because in this video I'll show you why the battery is insane, what else that this phone absolutely nailed well, including that one thing where this phone clearly went light. So let's immediately start by talking about the battery, as this has the industry's slimmest Blue Volt battery, a very unique technology developed by Vivo, where this is only usually available on the Vivo flagship series, but now it is here on this Vivo V50 Lite. Now, because it's slim, it means that it could fit a massive 6500 milliamps of battery. That's like a power bank built into the phone. Now, as mentioned earlier, the phone gave me up to 3 days of battery life, which is roughly about 73 hours. But what's more interesting is the fact that I even did a continuous live streaming for 7 hours on TikTok Live just by using this phone during the whole entire event launch, and the phone held up very well throughout the whole entire live stream without needing to charge. But it's not just about the battery life, because the battery idle time on this was super good, where even at the end of the last 1% battery, I got about 26 minutes of screen on time or standby time. Yeah, usually I would panic when I see 10% battery, but here the phone is chilling at 1% and I'm the one sweating. Now, Vivo is also promising 5 years of battery health and 5 years of smooth experience with this phone. But it's not only about buying a great phone, but it's also about having a peace of mind for the next half decade. But of course, unless you're someone who changes your phone more often than your socks, you're sorted for a long time. But even with such a massive battery, the fast charging speeds were not compromised, as it supports up to a 90 watt of flash charge, where the charging adapter does come inside of the box, of course, alongside the USB-A to USB-C cable and the soft TPU case too. Now, I went from 0 to 50% of battery in just 23 minutes and about 52 minutes to get about 100% battery, just enough time for me to get a Roti Canai run or a Netflix episode that I pretend that I don't watch. Now, there's even a 24-dimension security protection for the phone too. So this gives an overall charging protection and even an overcharging protection, which basically means that if you charge the phone overnight, you won't fry your phone or your dreams. But this phone can also make you a tech hero among your friends, because there's also reverse wired charging too. So yes, your friend's dead phone has your phone or this phone to thank. Now, in terms of the phone's design, this variant that I have is called the Titanium Gold, which, as the name suggests, is a combination of titanium and gold that will give you different blends of color depending on how the light is reflected on the phone. Now, besides this hero color for the Vivo V50 Lite, it also comes with a unique fantasy purple with a feather style underlay, and then there's also the Phantom Black, which is all black all around, including the frames as well, compared to the metallic finish that this Titanium Gold has. So it looks very premium and vibrant and has a very stylish design, and with a slim 7.79mm body weighing at only 197 grams for this 5G variant of the phone, it is definitely something that you won't usually get for a phone within this price range. But the Vivo V50 Lite isn't just pretty, but it's also very tough too, because it comes with 5 times the amount of ultra durable protection, with 5-star of the SGS drop protection, which even has the military grade certification, which includes an IP65 dust and water resistant, a scratch resistant back, and even a drop protection. So if you're clumsy like me or have friends who spill stuff on your phone, it is basically accident proof. Now, it's very common for a light version of the phone to have compromise on the phone screen. But the good news is that this 120Hz refresh rate, 6.77-inch POLED display look really great, especially when using it daily. Now, I left the display's refresh rate settings to the smart switch during my entire usage. So the refresh rate will be adjusted accordingly based on how I use the phone. And yes, that will definitely also help the battery life further. Now, watching videos was nice. It was very close to watching a video on a flagship phone due to the extremely narrow bezels. And speaking of watching videos on the phone, this dual stereo speakers on the phone was definitely one of the biggest highlights, and not only because of the fact that it has high-res audio, but also the volume boost feature as well, which almost made the phone sound like a mini Bluetooth speaker. Perfect for watching animes at 2 AM while lying sideways. And the good news is that this display also has the SGS low blue light certification as well, hence it's more pleasing to the eyes. Now, since this comes from the V series of line of phones, you can bet that the image quality was not compromised on this phone too, where it comes with a main 50 megapixel Sony IMX882 camera and an 8 megapixel 120 degree ultrawide camera. Now, the images look great for both on the ultrawide and the main lenses during the day and night. And of course, the portrait mode shots on this phone does live up to its Portrait So Pro name that this year's V series has, where the pictures look great not only when taking portrait photos of humans but also did extremely well when it comes to subjects as well. But we all know that cameras these days take great shots during the day, so I wanted to help you find out how it is good at night, especially when it comes to the portrait mode using this Aura Light being included in this light variant of the phone. Now, as you can see, the night portrait shots looked great, especially with the Aura Light being turned on. As seen in this comparison side by side with it being turned on and off, the softer light that the Aura Light produces does make a huge difference. So that eliminates any worries about taking portrait photos at night in low light. Then the 32 megapixel front camera also did a great job during the day and also at night as well. But as for video, the rear cameras can only record up to 1080p 60 FPS and the front camera can only record up to 1080p 30 FPS. So here is probably where you start to see the phone looking more like a mid-range smartphone rather than a flagship level experience. As seen in this particular footage, it is the only Achilles heel when it comes to the overall video quality of the phone. But this could be due to keeping the price down by getting a chipset that has some limits for this particular case, and more on the chipset and the software performance soon in this video. But before that, if you guys are enjoying this video so far and finding it helpful, a nice big thumbs up to the video would be awesome, so do give it a like, and a subscription will be lovely too, so thank you, and thank you very much in advance, guys. Now, as of the recording of this video, the phone comes with FunTouch OS 15 built on Android 15. It comes with options of either 16GB or 24GB of RAM with 256 or 512GB of storage options, and is powered by the MediaTek 6300 chipset. Now, FunTouch OS, as the name suggests, is more fun to use, and things like adjusting the home screen and the icons are easily found in the settings, which I've always preferred compared to some phones where you need to dive deep to find some of the settings in the menu. Now, besides the usual AI software features like the AI Eraser version 2.0 to erase objects or photo bombers, the AI Photo Enhance to enhance the overall colors of the photos, or the infamous Circle to Search by Google, all of that run very well, especially when it comes to the overall software experience when using it daily. The heat management and the overall usability using the phone as a daily device was really great. Then the phone's signal reception was also worth shouting about, because remember I mentioned about going live on TikTok during the launch of this phone? Well, I put a SIM card in the phone and the data connection remained intact without any disconnection while traveling on the lift from ground floor to the 8th floor. So the reception and the data connection is very impressive indeed. And because of how thin and light the phone is, as mentioned earlier, just using the phone daily for typing and just scrolling didn't give any sort of a hand fatigue compared to a heavier smartphone. Now, if you want a written recap of everything mentioned in this video, well, we do have one at our website at www.adamlobo.tv. Links to the website will be down below, where we also have some daily tech news over there too. So here's the thing. At a starting price of 1,299 ringgit, or if you're getting it now until the 2nd of June here in Malaysia, you'll get a rebate of 100 ringgit. So do check out the links down below for more info. So with that price, you're getting a monster 6,500 milliamps of battery with fast 90 watts of charging, a battery that can last for 5 years and probably even more, not to mention how tough the phone is. But it also has a very thin and a light body together with excellent cameras too. So if you want a light version of a phone that has lesser compromises compared to a flagship, this might be the mid-range king this year.